From February, following the decision of the National Bank, difference between the buying and selling the dollar will increase up to 16 ge. The Doctor of Economic Sciences, Alexander Piagaj, told in what way the decision of the financial regulator of the country may affect the real estate market. According to the expert, Kazakhstani people should not expect major fluctuations in property prices, and despite the fact that housing prices will remain within the level of the previous year, Kazakhstanis will not hurry with the purchase of new properties. This is due primarily due to the increase in the refinancing rate by the National Bank from 7 to 11%. Thus, the mortgage housing becomes much more expensive for potential buyers.
Основной источник, который подпитывал жилищное строительство, это банки.
The main source that fueled the housing construction is banks. They did not slow their work, but the population changed relations to these loans and uses them rarely, or in other words, the access to the population to these loans became unavailable. If in 2011 people loaned about 60,000, then in return about 147,000 tenge per month, and it was acceptable. Today, if people take the same amount, then they have to repay 2 times more.
То вы отдавали в месяц где-то 147 тысяч, то есть это было приемлемо. На сегодняшний день, если вы возьмете эту же сумму, то вы должны отдавать в 2 раза больше.
Sharp fall in house prices in Astana is also not expected in 2016. According to the expert, despite the unstable situation around the world, the national currency, the apartments in the capital are still in great demand and still an excellent investment source. However, according to Alexander Piagaj, buyers by the acquisition of property should clearly calculate their own risk and opportunities.
Если, скажем так, население не определяет свои возможности и все-таки залезает в долговую кабалу,
if the population does not determine its capabilities and gets into debt bondage, it all ends with the fact that banks have to seize the only housing, but non-public it is prohibited to seize not only housing, but in fact 50% of debtors live in overdue credit housing.
Свыше 50% населения у нас, она уже живет в просроченном кредитном жилье.
For instance, there are Astana residents sharing their views on the current real estate market.
Я считаю, что это несоразмерно дорого. Вот, это лично мое такое.
I think that it is disproportionately expensive. It is in my personal opinion. I think the housing can become cheaper, but not much. I believe that the level at which it was, it will remain at the same level.
Нет, думаю, если хочет.
If someone can, they will buy.
Я хочу сказать, что рынок недвижимости очень дорогой.
I want to say that the property market is very expensive. It is too hard for young people starting families. As for me, I paid with my son a 1-bedroom apartment which cost $43,000 to $45,000 at that time, and we had to pay during 10 years, but we managed to repay in 7 years.
43 или 45 тысяч долларов. Вот это мы выплачивали. 7 лет выплачивали. Надо было 10, но мы за 7, в общем-то, справились.
Сама кредит заплачиваю 15 лет.
I also pay loans lasting 15 years. Without mortgage, it is impossible to buy housing, and banks do not even consider without an initial fee.
Без первоначального вообще даже не разговаривать.